All right, what is going on, guys? Got another breakdown for UFC Vegas 42. Banger of a fight at welterweight. We got Khaos Williams taking on Miguel Baeza. Two very impressive up and comers in the division. You don't often see high level matchups like this on a fight night card, especially on the prelims, man. The bout order for this card is whack. But yeah, Khaos going to have a 2.5 inch reach advantage. Baeza is 2 inches taller, though. So I'll start with Baeza. MMA Masters. Coming off a really grueling fight with Santiago Ponzinibbio. I'll talk about that one at the end, but the good side with Baeza is he was just running through guys before that. Gets an arm triangle choke against Takashi Sato. Sato was on a nice little run. Decent UFC veteran. Matt Brown has to battle a little bit of adversity in that one. Gets caught with a nasty combination in the first round, but fights back. Ends up knocking him out. Basically had him toast at the end of the first. And Matt Brown on the downside of his career, but it's an emphatic win. You want to see that. Hector Aldana just broke him down, and that's kind of the story with Miguel Baeza. He breaks his opponents down. Um, Very good calf kicks, just very good all around kicking game. I would say that's what kind of separates his game, makes him, I would say, above average instead of just good. He's got very good calf kicks, good at breaking his opponents down. Will mix it up. Good teep kicks, has some head kicks that are solid when he comes over the top. But he usually likes to set up his offense over the top with the leg kicks and whatnot, and it works pretty well. But against Ponzinibbio, he starts out with that game plan, just lands a ton of leg kicks. Looked like Ponzinibbio was going to be toast in the first round, but then he battles back, just never stopped trying to get into boxing range, and started countering off the leg kicks pretty well. I would say that's what set up Ponzinibbio's first really solid couple combinations, and then from there he started to have a little bit more confidence, start letting the hands go a little bit more, and he was landing. That's the one thing I will say about Miguel Baeza. He, I don't know what it is because he's not like a bad defensive fighter or anything. He doesn't have like bad head movement. I mean, I guess he could use a little better head movement. Maybe that's what it is because he does get hit. I don't want to say a lot, but he gets hit. Like you can land like a really clean combination on him. It's a little concerning because Khaos Williams is not a guy you want to get hit hard by. But yeah, Ponzinibbio just was a dog in that fight, man. There's nothing to take away from Baez. It was a grueling fight. I think it was a great fight for his development. This is MMA. It's not boxing. You can take a loss, and you take a loss against a guy who used to be top 10, top 5 in a grueling fight where he really made you have to dig deep. And it's not like Baeza was out of that fight, but yeah, he kind of faded, and Ponzinibbio landed some brutal leg kicks of his own. He landed significantly less than Baeza, but his did equally as much damage, I think, especially because he checked a couple as well. But yeah, it was a tricky fight for Baeza. It kind of showed that if you can get in range and kind of weather the storm, there might be a path to beating him. But I don't even think that's fair because, again, it's so early in Baeza's career. Now he can identify the holes in that performance and just really start building. So I'm very, very high on Miguel Baeza going forward. Khaos Williams, though, another guy who I'm pretty high on, has looked really good. Had a very solid win against Matthew Semmelsberger in his last one, and I think he was trying to be just a little bit more measured in that one, kind of show that he can go extended. And yeah, it was good. I mean, Semmelsberger kind of stationary. Like he's a good fighter. I like Semmelsberger's game, but Chaos just kind of, I don't want to say did the bare minimum. It's not like he was tentative, but it's not like he was hunting for the finish in that one. And Semmelsberger kind of started to come on strong late, but I think Chaos banked the early rounds. Shows that he's not just a one punch knockout guy. And then that Michelle Pereira fight, man, I've watched it a few times, but when I watched it again for this tape study, it was the first time where I'm walking away from it really feeling like Chaos won. I mean, very, very, very close fight, but I thought Chaos won, man. I thought the first round, Pereira was, you can tell he respected Chaos's power a lot. Pereira just staying on the outside, barely coming in, and Chaos just not a lot of offense in that first round, but I would give it to Chaos just kind of picking his spots, just slightly outlanded him in the first. The second, I thought Chaos landed more, but Pereira also had some big moments in that second round. Had a crazy sub attempt at the end of the second that probably he would have gotten the sub if it was earlier, like because that was in. But I don't know. I guess maybe that's why they gave it to Pereira, because then I would say that he came on strong in the third, maybe bank that round. But yeah, it was a close, close fight, man. And I thought that people kind of gave Chaos too much shit for that because before that, he knocks out Alex Moreno in the first round and Jesus Christ, Abdul Razak Al Hassan in the first round too. And I feel like people kind of started comparing him to Al Hassan, like kind of thinking like he was just a one punch knockout guy, and then if he doesn't get that, he's toast. I don't think that's a fair criticism. And yeah, that Michelle Pereira fight, very important fight to watch for this one because it's just a tough matchup for Chaos. He's not a particularly fast guy for the division. He doesn't move a whole lot. He kind of just likes to keep that right hand ready and he will explode into a combination. But yeah, tricky matchup for Chaos, and he either won, in my opinion, or just about lost. And yeah, it's like, again, Pereira is a tough, tough matchup. He's impossible to get a hold of. And when I initially saw this matchup, I thought that the Pereira matchup, I mean the Pereira fight for Chaos was why I my initial lean was Baeza. I just figured Baeza would be able to use that kicking game, stay at range, just outpoint Chaos because it seems like that is kind of the path against him. If you can stay out of his range and avoid the big power shots, you'll be all right. But the thing is Chaos counters leg kicks well himself, and he has a lot more power than I think anybody Baeza's faced. It's not that Ponzinibbio doesn't have power; he has a lot of pace that kind of adds to his power. Let's put it that way. But Chaos has heavy hands, man, very very heavy hands, and Baeza has been clipped in a couple of his fights. And I think if he has to eat that same combination from Chaos, it's not going to be good. But I do expect Baeza to have some success with the leg kicks and the body kicks early on. But it's going to be huge to see what Chaos can do off the counter. But for this one with plus odds, I got to go with Khaos Williams. It's a really tricky fight. I'm probably not going to bet much of anything on it, but I went back and forth, man. I initially wanted to pick Baeza. I just thought his striking was cleaner. I thought that that was going to work against Chaos, but I like Chaos's ability to counter. And we haven't necessarily seen Chaos in this type of fight or Baeza. Honestly, it's an interesting matchup for both guys because we've seen them in similar types of matchups, but I think Chaos has more power, and I don't think Baeza is nearly as rangy as Pereira. Because again, Pereira just impossible to get a hold of. The movement is just next level. So yeah, while Baeza's movement is good, I think he's going to get countered a couple times by Chaos, and it's just going to be one, how late can Chaos keep the power in his hands, and two, can Baeza even eat just one of those explosive combinations from Chaos Williams? So plus 120, I think the value's on Chaos Williams, but honestly, a coin toss fight, just one I'm really looking forward to. And we have to see what we get for the knockout prop. Probably going to be worth a flyer because, again, I just want to see. It's going to be huge. We're going to really get to see how much of a chin Baeza has because I do expect Chaos to land a nasty combination, at least one, or just a nasty right hook, or just something right on the jaw, and we're gonna really get to see how good of a chin Baeza has. I have a feeling that he has a pretty good chin, so we'll see. But yeah, Chaos Williams, I like the value ever so slightly. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Sure to subscribe and take it easy.